Hello and welcome to Prudent Media. My name is Sachin Chatte and this is the first episode of the year of Blockbuster Reviews, where we take a look at the latest releases. This week there is no theatrical release, but we will take a look at a couple of OTT films that have been released. We'll take a look at the Netflix documentary on the Underworld and the Mumbai police and Charlotte Wells' debut feature called Aftersun. Let's start first with Aftersun. Charlotte Wells' debut feature Aftersun is a stunning film to say the least. It stuns you emotionally. It also goes to show that you don't need special effects and action to tell a story that tugs your heartstrings, and how. Wells not only tells a very heartfelt story but also uses the cinematic tools like camera, music and editing to tell it effectively. But the clear winner here is the writing and Wells' very assured direction. Not forgetting the fact that she extracts some remarkable performances from the lead pair who play a father and a daughter who are on a vacation. Callum is played by Paul Mescal, who has come to Turkey on a holiday with his 11-year-old daughter Sophie, played by Francesca Corrillo, who deserves at least an Oscar nomination for her performance. Wells uses memories as a powerful tool to tell the story. Some of what happened during the holiday is seen through an old-fashioned camcorder, as a grown-up Sophie lives those memories by watching the footage. Callum is separated from Sophie's mother and hence only the two of them are on a holiday. Even though Sophie is just 11, she is one of those kids who is very smart for her age. The writer-director keeps the narrative as simple as possible. There's nothing dramatic that happens through the film, but yet it gets you hook, line and sinker. It also proves a point that it takes considerable skill and talent to tell a simple story in such an engrossing manner. There is a great deal of innocence that comes through in the film. Callum is not the most successful man in the world, but he feels a sense of responsibility towards the little girl Sophie. There's a scene where he breaks down and the camera is cleverly positioned behind his back. We don't see his face, we don't see his tears, but that scene generates as much empathy as it possibly can as he soaks in his guilt. The father-daughter duo spend most of their time enjoying the vacation. Many such adult children films end up tilting on one side as you get a single perspective. But that is not the case with Aftersun. We understand Callum and where he comes from as much as we understand Sophie. Charlotte Wells also stages some wonderful scenes, like Sophie egging her father to join her for a karaoke singing, but he doesn't respond. So she sings solo, and my favorite scene where the camera pans on a Polaroid photo that develops and becomes clear as their conversation is going on. Whenever the background score comes into the picture, the music by Oliver Coates hits all the precise notes. Who would have thought that the Queen and David Bowie song Under Pressure could be used in a scene that might make your tear glands swell? The performances elevate the film to a different level altogether. Mescal as the father gets his spot on, and his chemistry with Corrillo make them look like a real-life father-daughter duo. Francesca Corrillo is a revelation. This will go down as one of the best performances by a child artist ever. All in all, Aftersun reminds us to savor the moment and savor those memories. There is probably nothing in life which is as precious as that. I'm going to go with 5 out of 5 stars for this film called Aftersun, which is streaming on MUBI. This week there's a documentary on Netflix released called Mumbai Mafia, Police versus the Underworld. Now we have seen this saga in many Bollywood films, right from Ab Tak Chappan to Shootout at Lokhandwala and many others, as to what happened in Mumbai, especially in the early 90s when the underworld started taking over and eventually the police retaliated. Now this documentary on Netflix has a lot of real life people who tell their stories. That includes the cops, that's Pradeep Sharma, Ravindra Angre, Vijay Salaskar, and also the former police additional commissioner Aftab Ahmed Khan, who passed away a few years ago. There is also Shyam Kishore, who was actually a part of the D company and who at one point even came to Goa and lived an anonymous life here. By and large, this documentary caters to international viewers because they probably don't know about how the underworld started spreading their tentacles in Mumbai and eventually took over the city in the early 90s. We get to learn a little bit about Dawood Ibrahim, his neighbor, how his brother was eventually arrested, and it all starts with that shootout at Lokhandwala when some dreaded gangsters including Maya Dolas and Dawood's aide Dilip Bua, they were shot down there. What is interesting is there is a lot of real life footage which has been taken, and there are journalists like Minty Tejpal, Hussain Zaidi, who's written a couple of books as well, and Pooja Changoiwala, who gave their inputs, and Minty Tejpal was at the forefront when the Lokhandwala shootout took place. As we know that after 1993 blast, things changed considerably and the police went hammer and tongs against the dreaded terrorists, as they were called, or even these gangsters, and eventually fake encounters started coming into the picture. The documentary tells us this story, but it's only about 80 minutes long, so it kind of pretty much scratches the surface, but it gives you a decent overview about how things started and how things ended as far as the police and the mafia is concerned. There is nothing much in the documentary that you didn't know beforehand. All you get to see is some footage which probably you haven't seen before. But if you're a sucker for crime drama like me, and this is of course a real life documentary, then do check out this documentary on Netflix about the mafia and the Mumbai police. Well, that's all we have for you this week. I'll be back with you next week with more movie releases. Till then, take care, and it's goodbye from me.